For you, I don't really care what we do yet. It's more so right now it's the same thing with cuts. Like we cut and we just disrupt. It's just a cut, pass, cut, shot, cut, disrupt. Like you're just cutting to break the play in half. When it comes to airplay and wall play, it's just shot, pass, right? Like let's get some control. I feel like all right, so we're going to look at Dyer, who is champion 3 threes, felt good for the most part, had one spot where Mex really broke down, seemed like a bad first touch. I'll try to find that one spot, but we'll take a look at everything going on. We shall take a look. What's up, Dinks? I'm not actively coaching an RLCS team right now. I am not. I am sitting on the sidelines. That's what I've been saying. Definitely a conversation for another day as to why I'm doing that. Do not want to rant. But hoping to return to RLCS. Hoping to return to RLCS next season. And right now, I'm doing a lot of private coaching. I'm actively working with a college, and I'm doing a lot of content. So like my focuses have shifted in the short term. But hoping to get back into the RLCS because that's where I like to be. So this will be Champ 3. We'll see what's going on. Good cut. Good cut. Patient defense into control. Pretty nice. Nice try. I would say highlight of this is cut rotation. Good. I think just in general, we're playing the ball well. Another cut. Beautiful. Demo. Yeah, super solid for Champ 3, man. I would say, like, okay, what's missing from Grand Champ 2? Because I would even call this Grand Champ 1. Good. What's missing is more mechanics. Very good. It's more execution, more control, more wall air, more mechanics. But the game sense looks really solid. So where my brain is, I'm going to be thinking about control, wall air. I'm going to be thinking about cut rotation because low-key, I don't want to lose this cut rotation because your game sense checks out for all of these cuts, and cutting is just part of the game. Like you need to learn how to cut in threes. And I would say if anything, I want more. This is like, I always say this with cut rotation when players learn and are starting to learn the game sense. Like, step 1 is doing it. Step 2 is learning the game sense, refining it. Step 3 is doing something. So right now, like, you're stuck on that step 3 where our cuts are just cuts. It's just disruption. It's just touch, shot, pass. And I'm kind of looking for a little bit more cut control, meaning cut into solo play. But that might be like part 1. The other thing is, it's like wall air. I think it's not that we don't have wall air mechanics, but we're very grounded in this replay, and I'm trying to figure out why. Totally fine. Good. Good. So this should be air. Nice try. Totally fine, and it's like we do that, and now we get punished, but I like that play from us. I think for individual improvement, we need... It might just be simple. What do we do? Yeah, like, that needs to be control. I know you're passing, like, your teammate got demoed, I believe. Yeah. But he's still like teammates so far back. Like regardless, for individual improvement, just for you to improve individually, you have the mechanics to do so, but like we just need more follow-up touch control in the air. Like, and I know you could do the mechanics too. Like you just said, ceiling reset shot, sure. There's no right play to do here. I mean, I could break down some options for you, but for you, the vibe that I get, it's just do it. It's not necessarily pick the right mechanic for the right play. It's I just want to see more follow-up touch control. I mean, easiest way to do that is air dribble. I find that like if you just air dribble more, you kind of learn the use cases for other mechanics. But options for this play, you could fly up to the ceiling, since the ball is, this is where Rocket League is so situational, so it's so specific. Ball's bouncing pretty far off. So like the two options for control would be like fly up to the ceiling and then like jump down and somehow turn this into like a pre-flip double touch or a pre-flip shot. Or since the ball's not super high and the ball's kind of close to the wall still, this is pre-flip air dribble. Higher level players can like immediately reset onto the ball right here into a shot. Double touch is like an air dribble. Like if you just went to air dribble this into a double touch, that's super easy. I feel like very viable for Champ 3. Eventually that could turn into air dribble, into pancake, into shot. And I know these are like super high level mechanics. I'm just breaking down options. I just want to see follow-up to touch control in the air. For you, I don't really care what we do yet. It's more so right now it's the same thing with cuts. Like we cut and we just disrupt. It's just a cut, pass, cut, shot, cut, disrupt. Like you're just cutting to break the play in half. When it comes to air play and wall play, it's just shot, pass, right? Like let's get some control. I feel like this is a mechanic, right? An aerial, a wall challenge, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like the only dedicated mechanics, right? When you think of dedicated mechanics, you think about musty flicks, you think about ceiling shots, double touches, right? Like mechanics with names. The only dedicated mechanics we do are ground dribble into flick, which honestly is a mechanic. As you move into Grand Champ 1, Grand Champ 2, Grand Champ 3, you are never going to have ground dribble into flick opportunities in those lobbies because you don't get the space to do it. And that's why, like, when you watch high-level gameplay, it's just a ton of airplay, a ton of cuts, a ton of redirects, because that's just how high-level 3s are played. I kind of want to keep it simple, man. And it's just a general focus on wall airplay. Because I think the step that you're locked on is the execution and repetition of it, where I want to say there's been 3 opportunities we've been on the wall / air. It's like let's in 3 minutes of game time, let's make that 10, and then we could start breaking down the use cases. Okay, like we could start talking about mechanics. Like we just need more frequency. And it's not necessarily the setup either. I think it's the decision. You're just choosing not to. And if there is a setup, and I'll try to find an actual example, but let's say the ball is trailing this way and you're rotating this way and you cut into boost, into wall air dribble. So I would kind of combine cuts with wall air. And I would play a lot of backboard and focus backboard transitions. I recently talked about that with a player. Hard focusing air dribbles off the back wall, ceiling shots off the back wall, and sidewall doubles, double touching off the sidewall. I think it's in a do it phase, personally. It's not the setup. You have the setups. And if there is a setup, I would say it's a lot of just sidewall. Like I said, cut in the sidewall, but I'd say just based on your playstyle, you're a control player, not really a boomy player. And I would just focus your control up the sidewall and positioning on the back wall. Like you're more of that soft touch control player based on playstyle rather than a boom and chase player. I mean, you could also position on the wall for redirects, which you have been. And I mean, I'm just going to throw this in here. This is kind of related, kind of not. But, like, I mean, stress yourself. Go up for this. This is actually a super easy read. It only looks awkward because you're in the net. But all you're doing is flying to, like, a zone, like, right here. This could be air dribble control, beating their third man. That's like, right? That's just a forward aerial. It just looks awkward because you're in the net. You know, stressing these goal line into backboard reads, another kind of stressor, but I know you can do it. I feel like for you, it's more, you know, you choose the ground play or you choose the pass or you choose to play a position, and let's like kind of go for the riskier thing. Not like you're diving the play, but go for that crazy mechanical control. Very good. See what we do. That's a good play, right? Like, I would not, like, if you think about it, there is an opportunity to turn this into like an air dribble. Could be pre-flip, could be like a delayed double jump. Again, don't want to get too hyper specific. But for this level, that's like very hard to turn this into an air dribble on this angle. So dropping this to the ground is good. That is smart. Like, you'll still play ground play. You'll still play 50s. But like on setups that look like this, I mean, even this, like, dude, go up for that. Like, you could totally dust that player. You have the boost. I don't want you to be confident like that. But like with this, that's fine. I like the attempt. Is it right here? This needs to be control. On it, like, every player chooses mechanics based on their play style. If I'm looking at this play, I might have just gone for an instant reset. Just single jumped into reset on this ball. That looks like easy and clean for me. Also, I'm not very good, so that's probably the gist of my mechanics right there. So positionally, I would play a lot of backboard. Try to cut up the sidewall. Try to turn these cuts into more, like, if you think about this play, right? You're cutting this ball. You're kind of attacking this ball. It's not like a cut in that you're cutting a roll in rotation, but you're cutting sideways. Like, it's just a pass. Like, turn, like, when you choose to cut, think about, like, I'm cutting into solo play control. Where, how do we solo play this? It would be, you know, double jump aerial, hit this ball up in this direction, recover on the wall, turn this into airplay. You know, like kind of like recover on the wall play. It's not just pass, not just shot. Backboard, good, good, good. And I know that's tough. I know that's tough, but just to keep putting you through this higher level lens. 26 boost. Can't really sidewall double. Someone might catch it like you did, but instead of clear it, it's just kind of catch down to the ground. Depending on the mechanical player, people can sidewall double with 26 boost. Low key. Depending on the risk of the player, it might be one of those like single jump into reset. Hide that you have low boost and somehow get a reset and just do the same thing that you just did, but add a reset in there. Like, there's tons of ways to play these situations. I'm not really looking at the use case of mechanics. I just want to see us start to try to control these plays. We had no boost right there. That's fine. Cut into solo play. But it's like, let's make this better just for example purposes. And what you did is totally fine. But it's like, cut into grounder up the wall, 50 it if the guy rushes you, or get your space. Even a really cheeky thing to do here, although we're on this wall play example, act like you're going to go and actually let this ball kind of dribble this way, drift turn into a 50 on their last man. Right? This guy's already peeling out, reading you to go this way. Or you could even act like you're going to go for this and just drive challenge into the demo and your teammate gets a solo play. super, super specific, but generally what this replay is about is more cut control, more wall air control, where you see how your teammates air dribbling off the wall. Like, we need to, and resetting, we need to start doing that to get into Grand Champ 1. That's not the PSA. That's not the only way to get into Grand Champ 1, but just for like Dyer and his play style and what I've seen over the past, like 6 to 8 weeks, I know this is like a step in the player progression journey that we need. Getting into Grand Champ 1, it's not going to be game sense right now because your game sense is super solid. It's kind of like what we do with the ball and the threat that's generated from it. That's good. That's a hard one to control. And then let's see if we turn that into airplay. That's fine. Just, I mean, the age-old thing would be air dribble. That would be, if you struggle with that, it would be 2 touches in the air, but I know you have the mechanics for it. And we fake a lot too, as to why, like, I want to see more control plays like that. I would work on your air dribbles. I would work on your pre-flip air dribbles, and I would work on your resets, your doubles, your stealing shots, like all your kind of like foundation wall air. Nothing crazy. Biggest thing for you is get the nice play, is to get the frequency up. And obviously we could pass, we could shoot. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not saying control everything, but we just need, all our control play mechanics were ground play, and I think there was only like 2 or 3 of them. We had like 4 or 5 wall air attempts, but no control. It's like we just need to up that frequency. Specific stage in the player progression. And structurally, free play, structurally 1s and 2s. I would just play a lot of 2s.